Hello, everyone. It is
Hello.
Scotty T, and it's your Comedy Minute. And I'm here with the very talented comedian, actor, writer, Matt Nagin is here. Matt, how are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great, Scott. I just heard a very interesting dead baby joke, and that put me in a little moment, in the comedic mood. We a few babies have to die to make a podcast decent. Am I right, Scott? If
did,
they have
did,
to go, they have to
did you
go.
like it? Do you want to tell the people the joke that I just told you? Go ahead and do it.
I think you should tell because it's your joke, and you could.
All right, I'll do it because I use it every time I try just to break the ice. Would he give a dead baby for his birthday? A dead
What's that?
puppy. A dead puppy. That just makes perfect sense. The kid can play. Matt, you are in New York right now, I believe.
That's right. I am here in the wonderful East Village, the illustrious of New York City, but I live in Alabama most of the time.
Yeah, I want to get to that because that's where there's a lot of humor there, I believe. I believe there's quite a lot of humor there. But were you born and raised in New York?
I was. I'm a native New Yorker.
Okay.
Hey, I came out of the womb going, "How you doing?" No, I
Okay.
I was born in Queens Hospital,
All right.
and grew up on Long Island,
All
an
right.
area called Jericho.
All right.
I'm Hebrew, so they used to call it Jericho because there was a lot of us
Yeah,
over
yeah, yeah.
there. And yeah, the only thing Native American is in Native American lands with the peace pipe we smoked in the backyard, on the track and
Okay.
field. But that's where I'm from. Yes.
Okay. I have, because I'm not sure the order, you've done so much. I have teacher, writer, actor, comedian, and I think I know how it started, but do you want to tell the people, take them back to the beginning, when you first started, how did you know you were going to, entertain people? What came first?
Well, I started with the writing.
Okay.
I've been writing since a young age, age of 16, writing poetry and stories. But I would take these writing classes, and people would laugh at a lot of my writing.
Okay.
And after a little play I did, I eventually had the desire to try stand up one time in an open mic, and it was a horrible experience. But I went back for more after that. It
I
was
don't
one
mean
of
to laugh. I'm sorry.
it was one of the worst experiences ever that you could have. I mean, 5 minutes of brutal silence. It could have packaged it as a meditation CD because no one was sitting there. People were like this, and I didn't even get an applause or anything. They just
All
went
right.
out. But it got me into it, and then I got better over time. Hopefully,
Yeah.
and
Well, you
and
brushed over it just because I wrote it down. I was trying to put some thing in this. You wrote 5 books. Your latest book is the book of Outcasts. Is that right?
exactly, you got it, Scott. The
Okay.
book
All right. Well, I think
Outcast.
3 of them are poetry books, and then the
Yes.
book of Outcasts. Why don't you tell everybody a little about the books? We'll try and get through this and get down to comedy eventually, and
Three
Alabama. I can't wait to get to Alabama.
three poetry books. So that's where I must be bi creative or something. I'm not bisexual, but I'm in different mindsets. And then
Okay.
I have a humor book called Do Not Feed the Clown. It's a
Okay.
bit of a satirical title, give us a little something, help us out, like
Right.
cameo. But it's humor on different topics. And then this book of short stories called The Book of Outcasts. And there's a lot
Right.
of humor in there too, but they're real stories that could be with various plot lines I could go over if you want, but that's the
You can do
background of
whatever you, buddy. It's your comedy minute. This whole thing is about you. Everything, this whole thing is about you.
wow, that's flattering,
Okay,
Scott.
let's keep going. You don't think I wrote down stuff? You wrote and directed a short film called Inside Job.
Yes, that was in a
Okay,
bunch of
because
film companies.
again, we got books, we got acting, we got comedy, and I got to cover everything. I got to pay respect to you,
Well, you're
and I
doing it.
can't wait to get to Alabama.
Oh, we're gonna get to Alabama.
Man, when
Yeehaw!
we get to Alabama, the wheels are coming off. I got a lot
Hell
of
yeah!
stuff.
We're gonna talk about hunting, fishing, wrestling, motor riding, all the best things that you got to offer down there. All right,
Dinner's
so
full.
yeah, the film Inside Job was won the best. short film at the Mediterranean Film Festival Cannes. It was at Hoboken Film Festival and
Right.
other film festivals. Got awarded and Nice Film Festival got best supporting actor. And yeah, and then I have another new film called Sorry Mom.
Okay.
That's now out to try to be in festivals. A short comedic film about my mother died 3 years ago, so it has some personal elements. A mother guy dealing with the loss of his mother, and but in a comedic way because it's all flashbacks of their crazy
Okay.
relationship. So yeah, I do a bunch of different things. I wear different hats.
Yeah. Well,
Like
and let me
the
just move
network.
on then,
Yeah,
because you did some TV shows, and one of them I thought was really interesting. I had a scene with Al Pacino in the movie or in a show called Hunters on Amazon.
exactly. Yeah,
How was
got to.
that?
How Al Pacino grabbed my gun, Scott.
That's and again, I hate when I talk. I don't like to talk at all during these. But you can't believe how many people I've had on here that tell me they're in this or that. I was in My Name Is Earl. When it gets down to it, well, I got cut, or you can see my elbow, or but so you were actually in this.
I had I was like a co-star, so I had lines,
Oh,
but I
cool.
Um, but a lot of them got cut when they edited, but you still get the credits and everything,
Yeah,
and you see me there and everything. But I was one of his cops defending him in a Mexican standoff, and I'm yelling at the feds. They're yelling at me, and then
yeah,
Pacino comes in and he pushes down my gun, and he's looking at it. He wants peace, and he makes a speech, a Pacino speech. With any Pacino speech is a great speech, and I got to watch him do it all day, and see the master. It's like wow, coming with, if you were meeting the Buddha or something, you know what I mean? It was pretty amazing because that guy
Do
is.
you mind telling me how that came about? How did you land that gig?
Oh yeah. Well, for a bunch of years when I was living in New York, I'm not really working with him now, an acting agent, and he would get me different auditions for different things, and I
Okay,
just made a tape, sent it. He said, "Oh, they considering you for this. Make a tape that day." I sent it, and they said, "You got the part."
okay.
Yeah.
So we're going to move on now to comedy. You've done stand up in 7 different countries,
Yes.
correct?
Mhm.
And what I wanted to know is there a favorite place? Is there a place that you really enjoy playing? And then follow up, maybe a place that you don't enjoy playing very much. Alabama. I'm
Exactly.
sorry. I'm
Exactly.
sorry.
Because
I'm sorry.
when you're performing for three pigs and two chickens, it's rough. You know what I mean? It's you appreciate the big audience. I mean, I went up there on stage. I was on a farm,
No,
Scott.
no, no. Don't get ahead to Alabama. We'll get to
On the other
Alabama.
side.
It's
On
the
the other
same
side.
Alabama. That's going to be the comedy. And you
Uh,
got a comedy in it. But let's talk first about
I
the
loved
seven the seven
the
countries.
Sweden and Denmark. That Scandinavian era was an amazing place to do comedy. They get our references. They speak almost perfect English,
Okay.
and they appreciate a dude like me coming in. They don't see us a lot in American,
Okay.
so great. And a harder one was Portugal. They said I was the first person to perform in English in on this show I was on in Portugal, and everyone else was in Portuguese. So they're like,
Yeah.
blah, 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 Hitler. I didn't only insert a few words. You know, menage a trois or something. I would a few words, but otherwise, I couldn't know what these Portuguese people were saying. I got up there. I don't think they knew what I was saying. So I ended up doing mime, and I have some crazy impressions. I did a woolly mammoth impression of a woolly mammoth smoking crack and committing suicide because it's very physical. My regular jokes, they didn't know what I was talking about. They didn't know English well, so I had to be crazy, like so, you know. So that was a tricky one, but
I've had a lot of comedians on that perform, to an audience that they don't speak any English.
it's impossible almost. With sign language, I mean, but the whole point of it is, so uh, please understand, you're trying to translate, you're trying to throw something out, take something out of your pants, just anything, just to get them laughing. I've had a few like that, and
Okay.
sometimes they speak English and they just really don't like you, and you wish you had
I was going to say that's a possibility too. Comedians that inspired you and
that.
comedians that you like today.
Well, some of my biggest inspirations was Woody Allen. Just
Okay.
the just the comedy, not the
I
pedophilia.
liked Woody Allen. There was some stuff Woody Allen did I really liked.
No, Woody Allen is a master.
Yeah, I liked Woody
Comedian
Allen. I like a
and
lot of his
writer,
stuff.
filmmaker. Very hilarious. But Don Rickles is one of my biggest. I love the off the cuff. Louis C.K. is up there from one of my
Okay.
biggest. Ronnie Dangerfield. And
I
then,
met Rodney.
oh wow, I would love to hear that story.
I will. I'll tell you off the air something.
Uh,
And you mentioned Steve Middleman was worked with one of the first one you mentioned. Oh, Woody Allen. He was in Radio Days. Steve Middleman was on the show, and he was in
oh
Radio Days.
wow, I love Radio Days. I'd love to see
Yeah.
that part again and see where he fell in. But just a smart. I love Woody Allen's a smart
Yeah. Yeah.
elite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you do. That's we're going to get to that soon here. As far as the stuff that you're doing, because I want to move on to your Instagram and the stuff that you're doing. And there's one section here that I don't understand what the hell it is. I'm not lying to you. I'm
All
not lying to you.
right.
I'm, you want me to get there? What the hell is it called? Nagin, please. I wondered about that, but what is it? PN and Friends, and then PN Mania. What the hell's that about?
Exactly. So, PN, I'm going to tell you a little inside for your listeners
Yeah,
what it's for. It's the
just so
code.
you know, Matt, I'm 63 years old. I don't know what any. I mean, I don't.
Yeah, okay. Well, most people don't know, but it stands for pussy and then the worst word, N word that
Oh
you
my
could
god. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
So the main, so the main cat. I won't say it on
I
here. I know
saw
you
a
said you could say it.
promo, and there's a black guy in the promo.
Yes, it's his because it's kind of like an inside joke. Like he is that.
Okay.
He's saying it about himself. That's the character's name. Is he's kind of like a little bit of a
Okay.
soy boy. But yeah, black. Yeah, yeah, exactly. So it's his TV pilot and web series, and he's done around 10, 11 episodes you can find on YouTube. This new 2 episodes, we're doing a screening tomorrow night, Wednesday night. I don't know when this airs at Crystal Lake in Brooklyn. That's going to be July 30th, 648 Grand Street. And one of the episodes that he's airing is called Nagin, Please. And it's a lot about an alternate version of me that's similar to me. And, going, and in this fictional realm, yeah, I'm in Alabama in that during the pandemic, and I come back with this mission to warn him of the danger he's in. And it has to do with AI and various other things. But it's a funny,
I
wacky
I
web series.
I tell you honestly, and just so you know, Matt, I'll be serious for a minute or two. When this airs, it's going to be a couple weeks down the road, but I will include the links to your YouTube, your social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all of it, everything you have. But I'm telling you, right hand to God, I watched something, and I don't know what the hell it was. There was there was a genie, and there was a black guy, and there was shit going on. I said, I have no, pardon my French, fucking clue what's going on here. None.
Well, that is my friend's production.
I'm just
Not
telling
that
you
I'm great,
outright.
but he is a brilliant guy. But I could see how it could use more audience explanation. But he's already in the middle of his. In other words, there's already been a lot of. So I
Yeah,
think
maybe and I don't want to. I don't want because
no,
I
no,
don't.
no, I understand.
I try and get as much as I can, but I put that on. I said, well, I got to bring it up, but I don't know what the hell it is.
Right, right. Well, like I said, it's a web series trying to make it into a TV pilot. He's trying to get
Right.
it picked up, and he's integrating AI and those themes and the actual
Okay.
AI technology into the storyline,
It's
and that's
making
the
more
innovation.
sense now. Now you're telling me, I get it a little bit.
Yeah.
I want to also real quick because you just did a show. I think it was Sunday night. You also produce shows. Do you enjoy doing that?
In terms of producing, yeah, I produced this show on Sunday.
Yeah, I know.
Um,
Linda Marcus Smith was on, and and I think you've done a lot of shows with some people on the show.
mhm. I enjoy that. I've produced less, but in recent times, but I have in the past many clubs, Broadway Comedy Club, all over, and in the South, I headline a lot, luckily, and or feature, so I don't produce as much, but I do enjoy it. I mean, that one it was a chance to host so you got a little time to do in between the acts and up
Okay.
top, and it's fun. It's definitely fun because you can curate your own show, your own. Because I like crazy comedians, and I put on a lot of nut jobs, and they go wild, which happened last night, and you see stuff you won't see anywhere else. It's like let the lunatics roam. They need a place to have their little fun.
Well,
So
you see, I got to be honest. I think I've done over 250 interviews or more now, and you're the first guy to say nut job, and that's one of my favorite. I love nut job.
I love nut job. Yeah, who doesn't like a little nut job?
Well, no,
We like.
I don't mean it that way. I just mean, I stew nod or whatever. I have different words that I use.
Oh yeah,
But
right.
nut job is brilliant. I would
Brilliant.
love your shows.
Oh, I think you would, because we
I
we
love
rocked it
nut
last night.
jobs.
We rocked it. Oh, Sunday night rather. We there was just it was unhinged. There were people there like there was a few acts. I'm telling you, this one guy. He's really funny. Mike Kramer. You could look him up. He was screaming. He was flipping. I mean, I thought he was gonna die on stage. Yeah, how he was going off, and he's a hilarious guy. So
Like Bobcat
uh,
Goldthwait. Did you know comedian Bobcat Goldthwait? Do you remember him?
Oh, I enjoyed him. Yeah, this guy's crazier than Bobcat.
No lie. That's
Yeah,
saying a lot. That's
that's saying
saying a
a lot.
lot.
That's saying a lot. But I do. Bobcat was great in his own.
Yeah.
I think this guy's a little
Um,
crazy.
I mentioned the reels and the skits and everything you're doing. I'm curious, do you enjoy that as much as stand up or more? Because I mean, or even the writing of the books. I mean, do you plan on still doing all three? Is that what do you just, is there a priority order ever in any of this?
Um, yeah, I know. I'm pulled in different directions, and I'm doing more acting. Like I'm doing this other acting pilot, TV pilot this weekend. So it's kind of where I get drawn as things develop.
Okay.
But I do have priorities in terms of I'm trying to finish three more books. I'm trying to of course, always do more stand-up gigs and more
Okay.
and expand there. So I kind of I'm one of those people that dabbles in different areas, but I'd like to finish some more projects. I would like to do at some point in the next year or two some kind of comedy special. I've never done that. I've been doing this a long time.
Right.
Uh, if you add up the years, maybe 14, 15 years since I started, it's almost like 18, 19 years, but there was a few gaps where I stopped and quit. But yeah, so it's a long time, and I'd like to do a special, at some
Okay.
point.
Well, I listen. I think you're amazing. Like I said, these are hard for me because you've done so much, and I want to pay respect to you, Matt. Because
You've
of
been nothing but nice, man. You've been nothing but friendly, and
well, no, because part of it. Again, I hate when I talk at all, but part of it is I don't like to look like a stew knot or nut job. I want to
me
make
too.
sure that you come on and I pay respect. That I did my due diligence, but I do want to now get to my favorite part because it was the thing that I said, oh, I got to have this guy on when I saw Alabama. Because, Matt, I have some similar situations that I can
Really,
elaborate on.
I would like to hear it.
Well, no, 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 you go first. In other words, first off, let's get how in the hell did he get from New York to Alabama? How'd that happen?
The main motivator.
Let me just say, do you live in Alabama?
I live in Alabama. You seem surprised. That's the reaction everyone tells my father. They're like, every time he tells somebody, he's like, "What the hell is he doing in Alabama? How do you live?" But no, I've been living there almost 4 years, and it's grown on me. But I got involved with a woman in New York. We got very serious,
Okay.
and at the end of the pandemic, she moved. She moved back to Alabama, and I was wanting to get engaged and all that. So
All
we
right.
tried living together, and I moved there to be with her. And then I never left. I ended up staying. We ended up splitting up. It didn't work, as you
Oh,
and but I'm still in Alabama. So what do I need her when I got bull riding, square dancing, and you know, can do-si
Well,
do the partner at the hootenanny, stick a banjo up my ass, whatever I got to do, Steve, to make it happen there. They love Jews down there. They got a name for us, target practice. So, but, but, you know, um, what am I doing down there? Praying and,
no.
okay,
My question would be, and I'll get to some of my experiences, but
yeah.
do you change the material you do in New York? You're not doing in Alabama.
A lot I do is similar.
Okay.
There's a few that I can't. There's a few that don't work for various reasons, and I got to cut, and vice versa. There's a few I would do here that I wouldn't do there. But I say a good portion translates over.
Okay.
Maybe 60%, 70% translates over.
So now you've been in New York for a while. When are you heading back to Alabama?
I'm heading back in about 10 days.
Okay. And then will you come back to New York maybe for the holidays, or you bounce between them, or
Yeah, I come back quite a bit, but I got a
okay.
bunch of gigs down there, and I come back. I may be back in October. And I'm thinking of moving back to New York now.
Oh, okay.
Right. So I may be moved out of there, but I haven't. That's what I'm working on. Yeah.
Okay. Well, and listen, when you get the next project, or you come back and see me, I will tell you, and then we're going to do your comedy minute. But I will tell you why, because it's similar, not exactly, but similar. That I in Pennsylvania, let's call it Philadelphia. And if you know Philadelphia, it's similar to New York. It's tough. You're real tough. I mean, look at I'm an Eagles fan. Look at the way the Eagles were just tough. We swear. You have to swear in Philadelphia.
True.
So imagine I worked in, you don't know this, I worked in the music business my whole life.
Mhm.
And I'm working for BMG, and my office is in DC, and my boss sends me to Richmond, Virginia. And because I pissed off the guy because I did the Philadelphia thing on him, and he got really mad, he hung up, and I had to take chicken to him, to him and his group, because he was so upset at me.
Hmm.
But that was the first. And then when I went to North Carolina, oh my God, Matt, hey boy, where you from? I'm from York, Pennsylvania. We use a goddamn Yankee. Wait. The Civil War ended. We'll use a goddamn Yankee.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
heard that. In other words, the word fixin'. I never heard the word fixin' till I went to North Carolina. Hey, buddy, ain't nobody fixing to do nothing quick around here.
Oh yeah, fixing. Yeah, true, true. Yeah, no, there's a lot of words like that. I was trying to talk to the guy about apartheid. They're not that smart. He's like, I know about that apartheid. That's when you brand the steer. You make look for the part in the hide. No, it's a different thing, man. That's segregation. They guys don't know. They got those southern drawl and the southern accent. I don't know if you got the real southern where you go drag racing, you go hunting, we went shooting turtles, and you only shot me because I think they don't like Jews around there. You know what I mean? And because we got the big horns. But anyway, yeah, no, it's an adjustment down there. It really is. And the guy will talk to you and say, I had a NASA shirt. He's like, you work for NASA? I'm like, nah, man, it's just a shirt. He's like, my boy wants to get a job there. If I give you his info, can you recommend him? I'm like, dude, this is just.
Just a T-shirt,
It's a
pal.
t-shirt, but they don't get it. They're a little slow, but they're nice
Oh
people.
yeah,
Very nice,
nice,
very nice.
nice people, but just slow. You just got to go a lot slower.
A lot slower, a lot slower, a lot slower. Like you go 2 weeks, you wait 2 weeks at a light before they move. They don't see over here. You're sitting at the light for an extra second. Okay, get out of the road, you fucking prick! I'll kill your mother's a horse. Like in Alabama, the light. Well, they'll just sit there. The light is green,
No.
and they'll sit and wait. They'll wait till it turns red again. If you don't see it, they just wait. They'll wait all day.
I,
Bless your heart. It's a
that's what
different culture.
I remember. That's where I heard the word fixing. I'm in North Carolina, and I need to get a pack of smokes, and I need to get up the road. I got to get to the next radio station, and I'm there, and I'm like, come on, come on. And well, he's talking and they're just talking, talking to, and finally the guy said, "Hey, buddy, ain't nobody fixing to do nothing quick around here." I thought, God damn, I just want to get my smokes and get up the road. Yeah, real culture difference. That's why I couldn't wait to talk to you about it because unless someone and part of it too is we come from New York and Philadelphia,
Right.
and then when you're thrust into the hillbilly hamburger helper,
Yeah,
shitters, man.
we're not prepared for it's a different world. Yeah, it's great talking to someone that gets it
Yeah,
because it's a bigger shock than when I was in Europe and stuff. They get
yeah.
it more sweet. That's not as different. Alabama, it's a different world.
I know someone from Alabama. I won't say who, but he's slow. He's slow. He's real slow. Oh man, I knew we'd have fun with Alabama.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely, 100%.
Well, look, I don't want to rush you, but I want to get to your comedy minute. You know the drill. You can
Mhm,
say and do anything you want. It can be bit, joke, anything
mhm,
you want. You can jump up and down,
mhm,
whatever you want to do.
mhm.
And oh, before we do that though, I want to make sure that we covered everything. Anything that you have coming up. You said you have a new short film or something coming. Tell the people anything you got coming up, and then we'll do your comedy minute.
Okay, great. Well, I got some great shows coming up. You can check my calendar at mattnagin.com. Nagin.
Right.
Okay, .com. And this Wednesday, Crystal Lake, Brooklyn, we got the PN screening of the TV pilot. Look for me. I'm going to be in an upcoming TV pilot called Brooklyn Vans by Daniel Giordano, and that's going to be coming out in the next couple of months. And that's a separate project. And yeah, check out my books and check out my stuff, my socials at Nagin, please. All right, Nagin,
I'm
Nagin.
gonna put the links to everything, all your your social media and everything. And like I said, I started by telling you what an amazing guy you are. I
Mhm.
really enjoyed my visit with you, and we just have one more little piece of business. And I have a feeling it's
Perfect.
going to be pretty good. I'm counting on you.
All right,
All
all right.
right, Matt Nagin, your comedy minute. Go ahead, my friend.
Well, I want to just tell you about a time that would be interesting to your audience, and it was all comedians get in strange circumstances, but this was one of the strangest of my comedy career. I was doing comedy at a place called the Freak Bar in Coney Island,
Okay.
and there was a big mural of a mermaid on the wall. So I decided to throw in some mermaid jokes, okay? And some of them were a little dirty, like I describing, going down on a mermaid, and I made the mermaid dry. I wasn't good at it, and I'm describing like the conch coochie and the seaweed snatch and everything. And I said, oh, I was so looking forward to this, but I'm giving her head and she's giving me tail and she's smacking me with the flipper. I'm going in this whole thing, all right, and it's all made up. I come off stage, the guy who runs the place comes up to me and he says, "You offended the mermaid." And I was, I was, I was taken aback. I'm like, well, first of all, last I checked, mermaid is a fictional creation. This doesn't exist. He
Right.
said, well, he said, no, we have an in-house mermaid, okay, and she was backstage. She heard your set, and she's deeply upset. She was crying based on, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I feel bad, but I wasn't directed towards her. It was generic mermaid jokes, like what's next? So he tells me I gotta apologize to the mermaid, and he was really angry. He's like, you gotta go apologize to the mermaid, and I'm thinking to myself, well, what's next? Am I gonna give Bigfoot a pat on the back? You know what I mean? Am
Right.
I gonna have a pep talk to the Easter Bunny? Like this is ridiculous, and I fled the place. Sorry. I left, and apparently comedy is closed down forever in this place. because of my mermaid material. You know, they kicked them out and they're never allowed to do another show.